Yes, I'm Leanne Logan. I'm a recent immigrant to Memphis, I guess. I moved here last summer, but I'd been commuting back and forth here for quite some time, 3 years effectively. Back in Canada for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been an instructor at the University of Waterloo in technical communication, in information engineering, and usability, and help get people passionate about this as a career option. This is the 4th country I've lived in. After 3 years in Europe, still lots more to see, but I knew I had lots more to learn first. So I went back to Canada, to the University of Waterloo, where I got my master's degree in English. The first real job I had as a student, as an intern, was a consulting gig in which I worked for the University of Waterloo, teaching faculty, staff, and students how to use a computer. So I was teaching people how to use Unix and NROF and how to format the professors' books, and secretaries write their memos and students write their resumes. So that combination of teaching, writing, and consulting has always been something that I have thrived on. The company that I now work for, called Corey Integrated Communications, it's based in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. And from that I've been able to work with a variety of people here in Memphis at FedEx and hook them up with the right solutions and the right team with my Corey counterparts, be they in Dallas, Kansas City, New York, or back in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. At FedEx we work for the marketing departments primarily and the branding departments to help them develop products that really meet the user's needs. Instead of now writing documents that help perhaps patch products, the developers go ahead and code and offer a solution or a product that has all the features in the world. Well, if the users don't use it, it doesn't meet the mark. It's much easier to learn what the user needs up front than it is out the backside, and it's much more cost effective to do that as well. So if we know in advance what those needs are, we can design exactly to those needs and not add all the features and bells and whistles that are possible in the coding world, or that's someone's vision, whether they meet the mark or not. So we help FedEx and many of our other clients interview customers to better identify what they need in advance of that development cycle happening. I joked, but was with quite seriousness when I first came here, that I live in the best of all possible worlds now. The folks that I work with at FedEx are in marketing, and that tends to pull from quite an international audience of people. So I was working with people from Turkey, as well as Russia, as well as the US, the North and the South, as well as Canada, as well as India. So the diversity that I met in the people there is something that I find in life charges me up. There were a lot of draws to Memphis for me when I first arrived. However, in the consulting model, my home was somewhere else. So it was difficult to migrate myself here until I was found things that were stimulus outside of work as well. Bought myself a single solo whitewater boat, and I'm now getting away different places weekends, as many as I can here in Memphis and in Arkansas and in Tennessee. I hooked up with the Bluff City and Canoe and Kayak Club to help me do that. The first meeting I attended had 80 people sitting around, and I thought, wow, amongst these people, if these people just show up on a Wednesday night to talk about paddling, there has to be an enormous amount of activity in town that I can hook up with and friends that I can make, etc., etc. So that's been a good group with people who like the great outdoors, who get out and hike for fun and camp and canoe and kayak, and so that's been a fun avenue for me to meet friends and get outside of the work world. I have ties still to my home country and to my family and friends who I get to see quite frequently, flying back and forth. And I see more and more opportunities in the US, and I do imagine this has become home.
Move back to